Daytona International Speedway, the site of the season-opening Daytona 500 for the NASCAR Cup Series. We're getting ready to get the 500 underway for the 2024 season. And Urban got his 5th straight pole based off of his finish in the dual race Thursday night. We'll break down a little bit of that stuff before we get started here. So Friday night, Urban had 3 drivers, not Friday night. During the off season, Urban got his Team Urban team loaded in the Truck and Xfinity Series, and now in the Truck Series, his Motley Motorsports team that he co-owns with Kyle Voiles used to only have 1 truck, the number 8 truck. Now it has 3, the 7, 71, and 77. And the 7 truck looks to debut next weekend at Sonoma Raceway. But without further ado, let's talk about the 2 other season openers, and then we'll talk about the Clash and the dual races. So, Friday night during the Truck Series race, Urban was able to get a 4th place finish, while his teammate Kyle Voiles, making his return to the Truck Series on a part-time schedule, was able to get a 5th place finish there. The 22 for Team GSR, a new team in the Truck Series this season, full-time, got 2nd place. And Matt Crafton, after not making the playoffs and going winless a season ago, won the season-opening race and is now guaranteed a spot in the Craftsman Truck Series playoffs later this season. Now we get to the Xfinity Series sides of things. Urban had a fast car all day, and he was able to get the dub there in overtime last night, as he was able to get around the 38 of Jeff Green and hold off Cesar Barcarella for the final 2 laps for the season-opening victory. Urban heading to the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs later this season, picking up where he left off, trying to win his 5th straight Xfinity Series title. And now let's talk about the Cup side of things. So Thursday night we had our qualifying races, the Blue-Green Vacation Dual 1 and 2 at Daytona. Urban was able to get the Dual 1 victory, so he starts first, while he held off Bubba Wallace, while Chase Elliott won Dual 2 at Daytona, so he gets, quote-unquote, the 2nd, even though wherever the game starts him, since you can't really choose where everybody starts. So, yeah. That's that. And then we go back to last Sunday, the Clash at Homestead Miami Speedway. Urban was able to get his 4th career Clash victory and become the first driver to win the Clash at 3 different tracks, looking to become the first driver to win 5 straight Daytona 500s. Here we go. So it's going to be 65 laps in this opening stage. Urban on the inside, Gillen on the outside, green flag in the air, and the 66th running of the Daytona 500 is underway.
Clear. Car right.
Gillen's going to pull out to the lead there with the help of BJ McLeod. Oh, a little bit of contact already. Got to be careful on the track. Hang on to it there, guys. The 20 has a run on Todd Gillen. He's going to take it to the inside. Here goes the 20 of Urban, the defending Cup Series champion, looking to defend his title this season and win his 5th Cup Series championship. It would be his 5th straight. That would tie Jimmy Johnson for the most won consecutively. And then he's looking to tie Jimmy Johnson, Richard Petty, and Dale Earnhardt someday with 7 championships in the Cup Series. And we complete lap 1 here at Daytona, so the race is 200 laps, 500 miles. Track temp about 110 degrees today, so it's 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday and Friday night. It is good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been too long of an off-season. Memorial Day weekend, the Sunday before Memorial Day, was the Cup Series championship race from Phoenix. And now we are back, as we can't believe it's already the 2nd week in August. Now, we do want to tell you about a schedule change. So, next week is Sonoma Raceway. But Sunday, since I'm going to the real NASCAR race, the Toyota Save Mart Company 350 for the Cup Series will be ran on Monday instead. So, it will be ran Monday evening instead. The Truck Series and Xfinity Series will still be running on Friday and Saturday, but the Cup will just be moved to Monday, since I'm going to be home late and stuff like that, so that will be that. Nice paint scheme for the 20 of Urbane. Busch Light returns to his car. They sponsored him when he was driving the number 4 Ford Mustang, and now they return to his number 20 Toyota Camry. It's a nice paint scheme. I like it a lot. It's the second sponsor to join Urbane this season. Sky Rizzi joined him for the Clash at the Coliseum. They'll join him for a couple races this season. Hang on to it there, Urbane. How about Todd Gillen up there, though? Austin Cindric in the top 4. Austin Cindric, the 2022 Daytona 500 winner. BJ McLeod, now a part-time driver, so he's not eligible for the playoffs, but he's still running third. That's great for a part-time driver. But yeah, just to make sure everything is clear about Sonoma, if you don't find the race next Sunday on our channel, it's not a weather delay. It's just delayed to Monday because of us going to the real race. As Joey Logano and Kyle Busch look to get up there into the top 4. 5th and 6th. Joey Logano, the 2015 Daytona 500 winner. And by the way, Austin Cindric won the 2022 Daytona 500 in real life. In the league here, Urbane won the 2022 500, but real life side of things, we're talking about former 500 champions. In fact, 2022, Urbane became the first driver to do the Daytona 500 three-peat, winning 3 straight, won 4 straight last season, and now looking for his 5th straight, and continuing to make it difficult for drivers to approach his milestone of 500 victories. Now, you will not see pit stops today for any driver, because they're kind of whack at these super speedways, and this game is whack in general. Pretty much if you lose a lap, you can't get it back for the rest of the race. So for this race, we're not going to be doing pit stops. They'll be out there, and we'll just pretend like they did them at the end of each stage and stuff like that. I could not imagine my race being ruined because of a pit stop if I'm one of those drivers competing down there. Like somebody like, Urbane, the leader, somebody like Austin Cindric, them trying to contend for the win, losing a lap, not being able to get it back. Sounds sickening. I got a great idea what we can do for like pit stop sequence. We'll say these cars can go about 40 laps on fuel. Because I think that's about how much they can go, 45 laps. I think that's how much they can go in the real 500. So what we'll do is we'll just pause the game for like a few seconds around that time, and then we'll just say that they're pitting. Austin Cindric now gets up to third place. Todd Gillen still running second place. Now, Todd Gillen is a full-time driver, as most people that watch NASCAR would know. So, therefore, he is eligible, him and Cindric and Urbane, all three of those guys eligible for the postseason. The only driver in the top 5, top 10 so far, not eligible for the postseason is BJ McLeod, because he switched over from full-time to part-time. BJ McLeod last made the playoffs 2 seasons ago. He actually won a stage here at Daytona in the regular season finale to clinch a spot in the postseason. And he ran all the way to the round of 8, I believe it was, before he was eliminated. So that was a good run for him. Unfortunately, he decided that he'd much rather just run part-time, which is okay. Josh Bilicki will be in the 78 and next week at Sonoma next Monday, so it gives the Cup teams plenty of more time to make it to the racetrack. And we are 10 laps into the 500, and Urbane continues to lead. We're going to go side by side. You won't miss a thing. 20 laps into the Great American Race, the 66th running of the Daytona 500. The 20 continues to lead. Todd Gillen continues to remain second and try to put pressure on the 20 as Kyle Busch has entered the top 5 now in the 4th position. Gillen gets blocked a few times there. He's going to get blocked again there. But he's still there. And on lap 40 is when we'll pause to do the pit stops. And then the cars will be able to make it to the end of the stage. It'll only be for a few seconds because obviously people have either fast or slow pit stops, but so at the end of this stage, the green and white checkered flag will fly, just for any of you who don't watch NASCAR IRL. And the driver in first place receives 10 points, while the driver in 10th place receives 1 point. And those points can be critical. Also, it's 5 playoff points, or not 5 playoff points, we're tripping. It's 1 playoff point, just like it is for the pole. If you win the race, then it's 5 playoff points. So 1 playoff point goes to the stage winner. And they only get 1 playoff point even if they sweep the stages. Also, the caution will come out too. And right now, it looks like, based off of how they're racing, it looks like that might be the first caution at the end of the stage. 20 able to get a gap on the front stretch. You notice that Gillen is a little better on the back straightaway, but the 20 is really good at blocking. The final stage will require at least 2 pauses for pit stops, while the stages will only require 1, because they can go 40 laps, 40 to 45 laps, we said. And once you pit, you'll be able to make it to the end of the stage, but in the final stage, you're going to have to pit twice to make it to the end of the race. And it's also the same thing for stage 2 as well, for those of you who may not be familiar with the sport. First place gets 10 points, 10th place gets 1 point, and if it's a different stage winner, then that driver gets 1 playoff point. If it's the same, the driver only gets 1 playoff point for the stage 1 victory in this league. Right now, Urbane, the leader, has 1 playoff point for winning the pole, because you also get a playoff point for that. He has 1 playoff point in all 3 series. At least 1. He has 6 in Xfinity because of the win yesterday. And he still has the 1 in trucks, looking for his first win there. But hey, you can't beat a good finish. And 28 points on the day, which, we got to talk to Splashy about that, but technically puts him second in points right now in trucks, because the 22 of Carson Baker would have been in second with 31 points, so he would have had Urbane by 3 points for second there in the standings, but because of a 5-point penalty for forcing somebody below the yellow on Friday night, he has 26 points. So that puts him 2 behind Urbane heading into Sonoma. Still third in the standings to start the season, not bad. Plenty of time to make up for it. Urbane currently first in the standings in Xfinity with the win. He got 36 points. So basically how we do points for races in this league is however many cars are in the race. First place would get, for an example, if we're running a truck race, first place gets 32 points. So Matt Crafton has 32 points right now for winning the truck race on Friday night. Since there's 36 in Xfinity, Urbane has 36 points in Xfinity, and the winner of this race will start with 40 points, plus any playoff points and stuff like that they have, and stage points. So in reality, with the stage points Urbane got in the truck race on Friday night, he technically has more points than just 2, but the league hasn't got all the points officialized yet, because the main focus is getting the race weekend concluded, so that way we can get the point standings heading into the next race and alert the drivers to that. So these cars got about 10 laps before they'll require pit stops. And again, we're doing them different just because the pit stops are whack in this race. We will be doing pit stops this season. Just not at the super speedways. We'll just be doing them different at the super speedways. It's bright and sunny outside. Last week, when we were at the Clash, it said it was supposed to rain all weekend, and starting Thursday night, it was supposed to rain all weekend, and pretty much all of next week here at Daytona, so we were wondering if we'd have to push the season openers back a week. And thankfully we didn't. It was out of the forecast. It's sunny today, but just in case anything goes south, 100 laps completed, or the end of Stage 2, makes this race official, which the end of Stage 2 would be well past halfway. But it doesn't look like there's a threat of anything, as we got sunny skies. Everything's clear. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 5th place there, looking for a run to get into the top 4. Austin Dillon in 6th. Both the RCR cars up there. Todd Gillen still struggling to get around the leader here. The leader's definitely not making it easy for him, and I'm glad. Don't just hand the win to somebody. They gotta earn it. Also, if you guys hear that fan in the background, I apologize, but it's like 100 degrees in my room, so kind of need that. Sold out crowd here today for the Daytona 500. Campgrounds are packed. Have to see if the fans can do the same next Monday. We heard a crazy fact. Once the league decided that the race was going to be on Monday for the Cup Series at Sonoma, a lot of people called off of work, called in sick to work, just to be able to go to the race. And I don't blame them, because you spend a lot of money on these tickets, you want to be able to go to the race, you know? So, that is that. Good news is, if you have a truck or Xfinity Series ticket, you don't have to worry about getting, or not getting a new one, calling in sick to work, because that's still going to happen on Friday and Saturday night. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets up there to 3rd. He's the real-life 2023 Daytona 500 champion. And in our E-League here, Urbane is the defending 500 winner, the 2023 champion. Also, after pit stops, we will do another side-by-side, and then after we get back from that, we will take you to the end of Stage 1. There's lap traffic ahead. These guys back here are catching them because they're in the... These are the leaders, and they're drafting off one another. If you lose the draft at a super speedway like this, you're going to go a lap down. However, they are faster than the leaders right now because they are also in a draft. But it's a possibility these leaders could run them down and put them a lap down. Couple laps before pit stops happen. 20 got a nice gap between him and Gillen. Again, can he keep it there? As he looks to hopefully run down these cars up there. And 40 laps in, so we're going to do our pit stop. We'll pause it when the cars get on the back stretch here. Alright, so we're going to stop for a few seconds to do pit stops. Actually, we'll just stop for a minute, so when my clock says 3:11. Alright. So it says 3:11. It was a little less than a minute. Didn't realize that when I said that, but here we go, back out on track. As the 20 now has a gap between him and Gillen, as he looks to try to chase down this other pack. Gonna have to do it without any help, though. It's gonna be a little difficult. Austin Hill driving the 62. We got Timmy Hill and JJ Yaley in this race. And with that, we will take you side by side. 25 laps to go in stage 1. 15 laps remain in stage 1 of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500 here from Daytona International Speedway. And you get a nice view as the cars head into turn 3 of skyscrapers and hotels here in downtown Daytona Beach, Florida. Look at that, they come off a 2. Technically, you can see it once they come off a 2. Nice view down there. Also, one thing we forgot to tell you in the race analysis, this is a 2.5-mile super speedway. But look at the speed the 20's got. He's trying to run down those lap cars. Unfortunately, probably not going to be able to do it here in the first stage. Might happen in the final stage, but I don't know if it's going to happen in this stage. But he's got a 3.8-second lead off of Todd Gilliland. Almost 4 seconds off of McLeod and Stenhouse. As Noah Gragson now falls back, or not Noah Gragson, Austin Hill now falls back to last place. JJ Yaley makes his way to 39th, Timmy Hill still 38th. Getting down to the wire here in stage number 1. Does not take long at all, really, to complete these stages. And it's flying by pretty fast. We went green about 2:30. It's about to be an hour since we went green. And then, like I said, just look at that view of the hotels and skyscrapers of downtown Daytona Beach. Cannot get any better than that, racing here at the World Center of Racing. So Urban, Gillen, Stenhouse, and McLeod are at least 4 of the drivers that are going to be getting points for this stage. Remember, the top 10 gets points in stages 1 and 2. So we will let you know that at the end of the stage. With 11 laps to go here in stage number 1. Welcome to the viewers. We hope you enjoy the Daytona 500 here today, the season opening for our NASCAR league here. Trying to run down that lap traffic. He's way up there off of the pack, so it's a little more difficult for him to try to catch it because he has no help. Because those guys that he's trying to catch are in a pack. Then he's got the guys behind him in a pack. But those guys don't have very much help back there because they're in a much smaller pack compared to the cars that Urban is trying to chase down as we have 10 laps to go here. 9 to go, stage 1. Urbane looking for his first 10 points of the season and another playoff point. Playoff points are critical for the playoffs because it determines your seeding. You want to be in the top 12, essentially, going into the round of 16, because the round of 16 kicks off the playoffs. And after the elimination race at Bristol in the round of 16, you don't want to be 13th through 16th because then you're eliminated. You want to be in that top 12 because the next round is the round of 12 where the points reset. And then you want to be in the top 8 going into the round of 12, because after the Charlotte Roval in the round of 12, 4 more cars are out. And going into the round of 8, well, you want to be in the top 4 if you want to try to make the championship 4. So playoff points are critical for seeding in the playoffs. Seven laps to go here in stage number 1. Up the track goes the 20 there. Like I said, he might be able to run down that pack in the final stage, but it took him 40 laps to even pull away from the other guys. You know, it really depends. As a reminder, these cars can make it because of our knockoff pit stop there. Oh, a little bit of contact with the apron going into the turn for the leader there. That's going to allow Gillen to make up some time there, but he's going to lose that time right back because the 20 is now better on the backstretch. He's better all around the track right now. He's going to get pressure, though, for the start of stage 2. At least until he can try to pull away again. He's going to have pressure. And just a reminder, after 40 laps of stage 2, the cars will do another pit stop, as we got 5 to go here in stage number 1. Alright, we've been caution-free this whole stage, but once Urbane crosses that start-finish line, it's like taking the white flag at the end of the race. The stage is officially official, because if the caution was to come out now, it would take us to the end of the stage. Like I said, we've been caution-free this whole stage 1. But you gotta be prepared for incidents that may happen. This is Daytona. The big one can definitely happen. Three laps to go, stage 1. It has officially been an hour since we went green. It's going to be another 65 laps in stage 2. As here we go, coming off turn 4. It is now officially the final lap of stage number 1 here in the Daytona 500 to open up this 2024 season. Urbane looking for the first 10 points of the season and an extra playoff point, and he's definitely going to get it. There's no way those cars catch him in time. And there we go. Urbane wins stage 1 of the Daytona 500. So it is Urbane, Gillen, Gregson, Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Joey Logano, Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric, BJ McLeod, and Harrison Burton that round out the top 10 for that stage.
Watch the lights. Pit road is closed. Watch the lights. Nice.
Alright, here we go. Green flag back in the air. Stage 2 underway. That was the first caution.
Still there.
Of the race. As Gregson slams Gilland in the door. And, ooh, a just-in-time block for the 20 crew. As Gregson gets up to second there. And so the 20 kind of got a little gap between him and second. But again, it's going to take a minute for him to maybe do what he did after 40 laps of stage 1. Nixon looking to make the pass, but he gets blocked. So everybody is on the lead lap. Gregson's trying to do what Todd Gillen did and trying to put pressure on the 20 here. 20 not making it easy for him though. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. still up there. He falls back to 4th place though.
Car right.
Oh, a little bit of contact there. That could have been disastrous. Way up the track goes the 20 there. Back to the low side, though. Urbane had some contact similar to that with Ross Chastain back at the Clash. At the not the Coliseum, at Homestead, Miami. Oh, into the wall he goes.
All clear. All clear. Still inside. Still next to you. Clear, clear, clear.
Urbane went in the wall and... Oh. Sorry, guys. I was doing something. He falls back to 2nd. For now, but it looks like he's going to pass him for the lead again.
Clear, clear, clear.
And retake the lead here as Joey... Oh, loose as the 20. Joey Logano up to 3rd now. The 2015 Daytona 500 winner.
Car right. Clear all around.
Gregson looking to the outside there. Now the inside. As now Joey Logano looks to enter the picture. Urban continues to lead. He's led every lap to this point because he was able to get back around Gregson there off of 4. Retake the lead and lead that lap. Notable off-season changes that we mentioned at the Clash. The All-Star race switching from Las Vegas to Richmond, and the championship race switching from Phoenix to Las Vegas. Phoenix now being the first race of the round of 8 playoffs. And what was the other thing? The Clash being at Homestead, and there was something else too. Can't think of it right now. Oh, and the Brickyard 400 returning. Of course, we'll have to pull out the trusty Gen 6 cars for that race. But about 11 laps into a complete of stage 65 in stage 2, and we're gonna go side by side. Correction, before we go side by side, that's 65. Now we'll go.
One left. Clear, clear, clear.
"20 laps complete of 65 here in Stage 2 as we welcome you back to the Daytona 500, which is brought to you by Urbane Woodworking. 20 continuing to lead. Gregson back up there trying to give pressure. Can't get there, though. How about Austin Dillon jumping into the top 3? Got about 20 laps before these cars make their other knockoff pit stop. And we are almost halfway through this race, so hang in there with us, ladies and gentlemen. Gregson gave some more pressure there, but then the 20 had a better run on the front stretch off of 4 there. Ooh. Also, later tonight, we have some college football action. And we had to push it back a few days, but MLB will start tomorrow, as we keep promising. Remember, they're only going to play a 15-game regular season because of it starting so late. Again, that little pack right there is going to help Gregson get a nice run to try to put some pressure on this 20, but have to see if it works this time. This 20 is doing a nice job blocking. He's doing a nice job keeping them behind him. Other than the time he hit the wall, that was about it. Let's look at Austin Dillon looking to the inside of Gregson there. Couldn't get there. The 20 caught the apron there, so that's why the 10 had a better drive off of 4 than the 20. Oh, there's some cars in the back that don't have a big enough pack. The 20 might be able to run them down. These guys, well, not just the 20, this pack in general that's up here. This top 5, top 6. These guys are definitely going to get caught. It's Timmy Hill and Daniel Hemrick, as Hemrick has fallen all the way to last place. He's looking to the inside of Timmy Hill there. As, man, Bubba Wallace fell all the way to 38. Lap cars ahead. To the high side goes the 20, and he's not too happy with how that 31 ran him. And he's going to move Timmy Hill out of his way.
Far right. Still next to you. All clear.
And in about 10 laps, cars will be doing their pit stops. So now Urbane's got 2 lap cars between him and the other leaders. And Bubba Wallace better hope he doesn't lose the draft or the pack in front of him, because that's not going to be very good for him. Cars look like they're still looking to get around not Justin Haley, Daniel Hemrick and Timmy Hill back there. Now the 20 is pulling away from those guys. Remember, it took about 40 laps for that to happen last stage. Well, it's happened here in just 33 laps. Next time by, we will be halfway through the Great American Race. And halfway through the Great American Race here, the Daytona 500, and it's been pretty fun to watch. We've seen drivers put pressure on the leader of Urbane. We've seen him able to make moves to hold him off, able to pull away a couple of times. Got a couple cars a lap down, and coming up to pit stops now. Looking at a possible 20 points in stage points to open up the season. You can sweep the stages and still get the points. You just can't get another playoff point if you're the 20 until like the next race, obviously. He's looking for the first 20 points of the season. And if he wins this thing, that's 60 points to open up the season. The 2 stage wins and then the 40 points for winning. Just a couple laps away from pit stops. next time by, actually. And again, they can go to the end of the stage here, but there will be at least 2 required to make it to the end of the race in the final stage. And pit stops this time. And after the pit stops, we'll do another side by side. Okay, pit stops. So when it says 4:06 on my clock, then we will do a side-by-side break once we get to 25 to go. All right. Pit stops are done. As Eric Armero, or not Eric Armero, Noah Gregson has fallen back to 3rd place, it says. Now he's back into 2nd, okay. And with 25 laps to go in stage 2, we will go side by side. You won't miss a thing. Coming up on 15 laps to go here in Stage 2 of the Great American Race. And for a second there, Austin Dillon had second place over Noah Gragson. But Gragson was able to take it right back away from him. And that's how the race continues to run. Gragson has gotten past one of those lap cars, though. He got past Timmy Hill. Also coming up at the Stage 2 break, I gotta run and do something real quick, so the race will be paused for just a few minutes. And we will be back with the final stage once those few minutes are up. This 20 car looking good, but there's a lot of other cars that you can't rule out either. You can't rule out the 20 because he's won this race 4 straight times, looking to make it his 5th straight time winning this race. But you also can't rule out drivers like Noah Gragson and them because, you know, if you get up there and you're able to put pressure on the leader, you know, you could pressure him into making a mistake and get the lead with like 2 to go and be able to hold him off for the race win. Only 1 caution in this race so far. And that was to end Stage 1. As it looks like it's going to be a caution-free Stage 2, hopefully. Give me a sec, because I might have to go somewhere, or go there sooner. Never mind, guys. My dogs were just barking at nothing. Sorry about that. So it'll be about 70 to 67 laps in the final stage here at Daytona. And that's obviously when we get back after the few minute break. It's gonna feel like a real commercial. $11 laps to go in Stage 1. Or Stage 2, excuse me. Mixing up our things here. And now 10 laps to the conclusion of Stage 2. Austin Dillon back in second place there. Now we got 9 to go once we cross the start-finish line here. Getting down to the wire here in stage 2. Then it'll be off to the final stage here for the season opening Daytona 500 for the NASCAR Cup Series. And then after that, we shift our focus to Sonoma Raceway next weekend and Monday. And get ready to start the West Coast swing. Welcome to the viewer. If you like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Getting ready to conclude stage 2 here of the Daytona 500 for the season opener for the NASCAR Cup Series. Looks like another car lost the draft. I don't know if if the 20 is gonna be able to catch him, though, in time for the conclusion of the stage. So that car might get lucky. However, he might not get so lucky in the final stage. We'll have to see. That's Bubba Wallace. So Bubba Wallace better hope that the 20 is not fast enough to catch him, which he shouldn't be, because the 20 has pulled away from the pack due to getting around those lap cars and the pack getting stuck behind those lap cars, that little pack he was running in. Five laps to go here in stage number 2. And Urbane is looking to sweep the stages to open up the season. Again, he already got a playoff point for stage 1 win, so he can't get a second one here. He will be eligible for a playoff point again next weekend. Less than 5 to go, stage 2 now. And if Bubba Wallace loses a lap here, that's going to take him out of contention for the race more than likely, because we mentioned in this game, if you lose a lap, you're stuck a lap down for the rest of the race. Nothing you do seems to be able to get you back on the lead lap. Coming to 3 to go here in stage 2. Yeah, Wallace is going to get lucky if this 20 doesn't catch him here, because he's catching him. We didn't think he would, but he's catching him. Maybe the 20 will be generous and give him a little push to try to help him out a little bit. Oh, the 20 got the wall a little bit there, trying to run that racing line. You see the 20 of Wallace running that racing line as well, or the 23 of Wallace, excuse me, running that racing line as well. The 20 is there.
Got one left. Car low.
Got a little loose there on the outside of the 23 and got in the wall. Had to let off the gas to avoid wrecking the 23.
Got one right.
And he tries to give him a little bump there to find him some speed, and Wallace goes a lap down.
Still there.
He
Clear,
finished
clear.
runner-up to Urbane in the 2023 Daytona 500. And unfortunately, looks like might finish 38th here in the 2024 Daytona 500. As here we go, final lap, stage 2. And it's going to be the 20 stage. So 20 points for him. Got a playoff point for that stage 1 victory. Can he hang in there for the last 70, 67 laps of this race to win his 5th straight Daytona 500? Only 3 cars a lap down. There's about 37 on the lead lap as the 20 comes off turn 4 for the final time. He will sweep the stages here in the 66th running of the Daytona 500. Urbane wins stage 2 as well.
All right. Yellow flag. Watch the light. Pit road is closed.
So the top 10 for that stage, Urbane, Armarola, or not Armarola, you keep saying Armarola because we're used to. Urbane, Gregson, Stenhouse, Logano, Larson, Dillon, Burton, Ty Gibbs got in there. Todd Gilland and Josh Balicki, or not Josh Balicki, again, Carson Hocevar. Got in there. Ty Gibbs, winner of 2 races last season, 3 races. It was either 2 or 3. He won at Phoenix and Coda for sure. I believe he might have won at Sonoma as well. But without further ado, we're going to take the little break that we mentioned we were going to take here before we start the last 70 laps of this race.
Awesome stage win.
So it's going to be Urbane on the inside, Gregson on the outside when we come back. Okay, guys, we are back. And about 2 hours and 6 minutes ago, we went green in the 500. And now here we go at the final 70 laps. Green flag. 70 laps to go here in the Great American Race.
We didn't come here for seconds. Keep charging.
See the bump drafting.
All right, that's the lead right there. Enjoy the view.
20 trying to get back to the lead and does. Joey Logano up there. A lot of other cars up there with opportunities to go for the 500 win. And we have determined that since there's 70 laps to go in the race, not 80, the cars can do one pit stop and make it to the end of the race. That's great news if you're a fan of any leaders up front. And we talk about Joey Logano, though. What a great start to the season. Even Noah Gragson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Those guys were playoff contenders a season ago. I think Joey Logano was the only one that wasn't. But still, we got a couple playoff contenders up there from last season, starting their season off on the right foot. Twenty got the wall again a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad of damage. And again, if you hear that fan, my apologies. Gregson doing a nice job today. Gillen started off excellent up there, started second. Now it's Gregson up there doing a nice job. And now it's looking like he's... Oh, no, never mind. He's still behind Gregson there. Still helping Gregson put pressure on Urbane, the leader here. Urbane not giving it up, though. Well, we're pretty much doing the Busch Light Clash. Oh no, never mind. Never mind, I'm tripping. We're past that point. I was gonna say we're pretty much doing the Busch Light Clash all over again, because that was a 67 lap race. But we are tripping. As look at Ty Gibbs up to 4th. Looking to go challenge his boss for the lead and get his first career Daytona 500 win. And I believe he only had 2 wins last season, so Gibbs looking for his 3rd career victory. Gregson gets blocked. 20 stays to the low side. And Gregson tried the high side but couldn't get there. Way up the track, went to 20 there. As he looks to block Gregson's run. He's going to go block it again. And then go back to the low side. Gregson's still looking for a run, can't find one. And 60 laps to go in the 66 running of the Daytona 500. And we will take you side by side. You won't miss a thing.
Stay left. Clear, clear, clear. Clear all around.
"50 laps to go in the 66 running of the Great American Race. 20 continues to lead. Almirola trying to put pressure on him, and continues to put pressure on him. We're approaching the end to the 500, ladies and gentlemen. Still a few laps to go, though. Quite a few, actually. He has a half a second gap between him and Gregson. Gregson more than likely going to catch up. Yeah, he's catching up. Wallace, Hill, and Yaley, the only cars one lap down in this race, 37 on the lead lap. As we are closing in on 40 to go. almost to that pit window. Once we get to 40 to go, then we'll have 10 laps before we got a pit. Which will be lap 30. Lap 31 of 70 marks, here in this final stage, marks 40 to go. That means we will have 10 laps until we have to pit. As Ty Gibbs back up there in 4th. Trying to chase down his boss. How about Harrison Burton? He's running in the top 5. Harrison Burton trying to get the Wood Brothers their 100th win. Can he maybe chase down as Chase Elliott in 6th? Chase Elliott won his dual race Thursday night. He's definitely a threat to win this as well. Harrison Burton also now a threat. Running in the 5th position. As now it's just the leaders, I believe the top 10, in a little pack. We are about 3 minutes to 5 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time. This race started at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Through the first 2 stages, the 20 of Urbane won them. And why don't we dig into our ones to watch category? I think anybody in the top 5 right now, top 10 maybe in that ones to watch category. I got my eyes on the 20, mostly though, because he's been able to hold these guys off. I think that he's a real threat to capture his 5th Daytona 500 today. He had so many career wins at Daytona. About 11 of them to be exact, I believe. This would be career win number 12 at the track today if he hangs on and wins this thing. Well, we've said it before and saying it again. Next week we're going to turn left and right in wine country at Sonoma Raceway. Sonoma Raceway, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday night. Next Monday night. Because obviously we will be gone Sunday. There's a little pack up there. Will the 20 catch him? There is a pack with the 20. They could help him catch him. But that's not going to be good for the pack if the 20 is able to get around all those cars. And they can't. I like seeing the planes flying in the background, and there in turns 1 and 2, and then you go from planes to, like we mentioned before, the hotels and skyscrapers of downtown Daytona Beach. It's really nice down here, and it's really nice down there in Miami too, where we were at last Sunday for the Clash. Very warm down here, and it's going to be very warm next week in wine country. Good news is we didn't have to worry about any weather delays this week, and we definitely don't have to worry about them during the West Coast swing over the next 3 weeks. Last weekend, last Saturday night, were supposed to be the heat and last chance qualifying races for the Clash at Homestead, Miami, and unfortunately those got rained out. And then there was the possibility of the Clash getting rained out. We were able to get the Clash in. And then there was a threat of it raining, the rain starting on Thursday here at this track and going all through next week. And we had the threat of having to postpone the season opener to the following week, but the rain held off, and it's nothing but clear skies here for the season opener. And I bet you the race fans in the stands are very thankful of that, because, you know, we already got to have a Monday race next week as we have 40 to go here in this one. You know, and I don't think the fans really want 2 Monday races in a row, you know, or at least a race getting called early due to weather, so. It worked out, and over the next 3 weeks we ain't got to worry about it until Atlanta Motor Speedway after that, which we'll have to see. Is it gonna rain? Is it not gonna? We'll have to see how that race weekend plays out. Best thing about road course racing, though, is even if it was gonna rain next week, if that track was somewhere where it rains a lot, we can race in the rain, as long as it's not too blinding and no thunder or lightning. Bubba Wallace falls all the way back to 40th place now. Remember, he lost a lap back at the end of stage 2. And these guys are gonna catch this pack. Justin Haley, the only car not 1 lap down yet in this pack up ahead. There's a bunch of others that are not 1 lap down yet, as Timmy Hill, Bubba Wallace, and Daniel Hemrick, the only ones that are a lap down. These guys are in a pack drafting, but this pack, the leaders are going to catch them. That drafting pack is not going to save them from the leaders.
3 wide, 2 outside.
As now Justin Haley,
2 outside. Stay left.
John Hunter Nemechek, Brad Keselowski, oh, both the RFK cars are going to join those other guys a lap down soon. Denny Hamlin is going to get lapped by his boss. But look at this. The other leaders can't get around him. This is what we were talking about. This is going to screw over the other leaders, and this is going to be a good sign for the 20 of Urbane. As now he just, after he gets around his driver, Denny Hamlin, he just has to get around the other 3 cars ahead of him, which is AJ Allmendinger, Austin Hill, and Garrett Smithley. Coming up on our knockoff pit stop, our super speedway pit stop, or whatever you want to call it. You can't get around these guys now. That's going to be good for the leaders if they can get around those other cars. Oh, in there, Austin Hill. There, a little contact to the outside of Garrett Smithley with a nice run there, though.
Clear, clear.
Do we dare play I had some help? Because because essentially the 20 should be thanking Noah Gragson and the cars behind him that were the leaders in that pack of the leaders, because they essentially helped him chase down that pack, and they were right there with him. Fortunately, because he's the leader, he's the first car to have a shot to go around him. I think that's going to be all she wrote for this 66 running of the 500, though, unless if we do get a caution. Again, the only cautions that have come out was to end the stages. Been a pretty clean Daytona 500. Couple incidents where the 20 tapped the wall, got into a couple cars, but nobody spun out, nobody wrecked. Coming up on our it's almost time for our knockoff pit stop, which we just pause for a minute, everybody, and pretend like everybody pits. Again, that is just altered for the super speedway races, so that way it's a little more fair. A win gets you a guaranteed spot in the playoffs. Urbane looking to do that here today in the 500. Did it in the Xfinity Series last night. Still looking to do it in the Truck Series, but plenty of time to get a win there. And once the cars get to the back straightaway, well, at least the leader, we will do our 1 minute pit stop. Okay, so when the clock says 5:09, then we will get back for the rest of the race. This is the last pit stop of the race. Actually, we'll go to 5:10 since it just turned 5:09 as we said that. This is the last pit stop of the race, coming up on 30 to go. And like we said, there's still, a possibility those cars could get around those lap cars. So there's still a lot of ones to watch here in this race, but that 20 car is one of them. He knows how to win here at Daytona. You saw it in the Xfinity Series last night. A nice clean race to the end of that right there. And he was able to get the lead. Caution came out. We went to overtime and got a good jump on the start, and that was all she wrote for the Xfinity Series season opener. Cesar Barcarella finishes in the runner-up position. Cesar B, the Las Vegas winner and another race winner from last season in the Xfinity Series. Got 2 wins, made the playoffs. Looking to do that again this season. And then we mentioned in the Truck Series, as we get rolling again here. As we mentioned before, in the Truck Series, Crafton went winless last season, failed to make the playoffs. He won the season opener Friday night at Daytona, and now it qualifies for the playoffs for the 2024 season. A lot of races to go until the playoffs, but you know what? It's never too early to start talking about them, especially as drivers win, because these race weekends are going to fly by real fast. It's going to be the Daytona 500 today, and pretty much the regular season finale tomorrow, because there's only 26 races in the regular season for the Cup Series. After this one, there'll be 25 to go. There's 16 races in our season of our half of the season for the NASCAR Cup Series. Then from race 17 to 26, or from race 17 to 36, the Cup Series goes over to NBS TV on Twitch. And this season is the first season that FoxTube TV will have every race of the Truck Series and every race of the Xfinity Series season on it due to new rights for the Xfinity Series. The Cup Series continues. The Cup Series will do their first 16 races here, including the All-Star race. And then from race 17 all the way to the championship weekend, they will be over on Twitch. Also, another big announcement during the offseason, Urbane running the 1100, or going to try to run the 1100 mile doubleheader. That will be the weekend of the Coca-Cola 600. So Sunday he'll run the Indy 5. The Sunday of the Coca-Cola 600 he'll run the Indy 500, and then he'll fly over to Charlotte to run the Coca-Cola 600. The Coca-Cola 600 being NASCAR's longest race of the season and the only race to have 4 stages in it. So you have an opportunity to get 70 points out of the night there at Charlotte in the Coca-Cola 600, because you got 10 points for the first 3 stages, and then the 4th and final stage, if you win, you get 40 points. So a 70-point day there might, you know, or even just a really good points day there might make the difference on if you make the postseason after the last 10 races of the regular season, or if you miss it. Well, that's why we say it's never too early to start talking about the playoffs, no matter what race you're in, because points at a track can be the difference of you making it and not making it at the end of the regular season. And instead of going side by side after those pit stops, we'll go side by side for one final time with 20 to go. So we're going to come up on that soon. Also, another big announcement, we're going to start doing like pre-race shows and post-race shows and stuff like that. The post-race show for tonight will be, it won't be directly after the race like it normally is. It'll be instead probably about 20-30 minutes after. But the pre-race show for next week at Sonoma for the Cup Series, that will still be ran as scheduled, it will still be ran as scheduled on Sunday, just it'll be like later in the night when we get back, and we will just talk about the starting lineups, where everybody's going to start at, and talk about the race, give you a little analysis, and that will be that, and then we'll have the race on Monday. Just a reminder that Xfinity and trucks will still be happening on Friday and Saturday night. It's almost been 3 hours since we went green. And we're coming up on the conclusion of the 66 running of the Great American Race. It's been a day here at Daytona. A lot of different drivers challenging for the lead. Gregson took the lead. Unfortunately, did not get to lead the lap. There's only been 2 lead changes, really. Coming to 21 to go. This time by. And more than likely, that's going to be all she wrote for this 500. Because he's pulled away from that pack, which means he now no longer has help to try to catch any more cars. As there's 28 cars still on the lead lap in this race. And now, despite Bubba, going to be finishing like wherever he finishes, he's still going to be solid in the point standings, because a lot of the part-time drivers will be lower in the point standings than he will, because they're part-time drivers. He's a full-time driver, so he'll be a little higher in the point standings, but still not a really good day for points for him, especially if he does finish 40th where he was. But with 20 laps to go in the Great American Race, we're going to take you side by side one final time. 10 laps to go in the 66 running of the Daytona 500, and Urbane continues to lead. Well, Wednesday night, we'll have another NASCAR Classics for you. It's something new the network is doing this season, showing you old NASCAR races. And it will be Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here on Fox Tube TV, it will be the 2022 Toyota Save Mart 350. After 2 years of trying and almost winning in 2021, despite getting beat by, almost winning because he got beat by Ryan Preece, Urbane was finally able to capture his first career Sonoma Raceway win, and you'll get to see a replay of that race. However, that race was cut down to only run halfway due to it getting too late in the night. NASCAR decided it was only going to go to halfway, so they only made it half of 110 laps. But still, Urbane finally got that first career Sonoma Raceway win, and that's going to be Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Fox Tube TV. Less than 10 laps to go now here in the Great American Race. In fact, it'll be 7 next time by. And we are 1 minute away from officially being 3 hours since the green flag in this race. During the post-race show later, we will go over where everybody sits in the standings after this race heading into Sonoma Raceway, and again we'll talk a little bit about next week and what drivers seem to struggle today and what drivers had a phenomenal day. Again, that's coming up on the post-race show, but again, that will not be immediately after the race like it normally is. We will be receiving the 5 to go signal next time by. What a day it's been at the World Center of Racing. We appreciate the sold-out crowd. And Urbane fans can get ready to celebrate because it looks like he's got his 5th Daytona 500 in the bag. He just has to finish these last few laps here. Here we go, 5 to go signal, 5 laps to go in the Great American Race for the 2024 season opener. These drivers waited a long off season. They're excited to be back in these cars competing. It's going to be a great season. He got his first career win here at Daytona with Busch Light on board. In fact, you got to see that last Wednesday night as one of the NASCAR Classics that were on this channel. Looking to get his 5th career Daytona 500 win with him on board too, and his 5th in a row. And you wonder, if he goes 5 Daytona 500s, Can he go 5 championships in the Cup Series too? Oh, got in the wall just a little bit there. Welcome to the 2 viewers. We hope you enjoyed these last 3 laps at the line of the 2024 Great American Race. And if you're just now tuning in and you missed everything, you can watch the replay tomorrow when it's uploaded to the channel. Or you can go back in the live stream when it ends. Three laps to go, though. And we've been caution-free this whole race except to end both stages. There's only been 2 cautions, and that's for the end of both stages. The 20 crew is hoping that there is not a surprise caution for an incident in these closing laps, even though if it was real life, you technically would have to assume that there was gonna be. But the AI do not wreck in this game for some reason. We'll have to see if there's a setting or something that might be turned off as to why they're not wrecking. But we will figure it out. Alright, so here we go. If Urbane makes it back around to the white flag, the race is official. The next flag ends it. If we get a caution before he makes it, then we go to NASCAR overtime. Which we will explain the rules to if we get it, which I don't think we're gonna, because we haven't seen a caution all race. And we're not gonna see overtime in this one, as white flag, 1 lap to go, presented by Urbane Woodward. Fun fact for you, there was an overtime finish in the truck race Friday night, an overtime finish in the Xfinity Series season opener last night, but there's not gonna be one here in the Cup race, as the leader sees the white flag under green. How about this? A nice caution-free race other than to end the stages to open up the season as he heads down the backstretch for the final time. 20 points in stage points plus 2 playoff points for the pole and one of the stage wins. And now you're going to add another 40 to that to make it 60 points as he comes off turn 4 for the final time and ends up below there but gets back on the track. The 20 crew earns their 5th Daytona 500 in a row. For some reason, their car started slowing down, but it's okay. They were really far ahead of those other guys. 5th Daytona 500 in a row. Your top 10, Urbane, Gregson, Elliott, Larson, Logano, Gibbs, Stenhouse, Burton, Dillon, and Chastain. How about Todd Gillen? You know, he got 11th. He started 2nd, still a solid finish. Ryan Blaney with a solid finish there. And some of the other guys that, you know, we haven't seen much today. Christopher Bell in what we're pretending is the 02 with a 13th place finish. Bowman in 14th, Bush in 15th, Hocevar in 16th, Ryan Preece in 17th, Briscoe 18th, McDowell 19th, McLeod 20th, so he kind of fell off there. Byron 21st, Truex Jr. 22nd, Harvick 23rd, Barry 23rd, Cindric 24th, LaJoy 25th, Suarez 26th, Jones 27th, Tyler Reddick 28th, Smithley 29th, Allmendinger 30th, Keselowski 31st, Yaley 32nd, Hamlin 33rd, Hill 34th, John Hunter Nemechek 35th, Justin Haley 36th, Buescher 37th, Hemrick 38th, Wallace got actually 39th, and Timmy Hill dead last. And with that, we will say so long, everybody. We hope you enjoyed the race. We'll see you at the post-race show in a little bit.